The International Court of Justice has ordered Israel to prevent genocide in Gaza and to take all measures within its power to prevent all acts within the scope of the Genocide Convention. Hans Marcial reports.
Given this conclusion, the Court considers that it cannot accede to Israel's request that the case be removed from the general list. By 15 votes to 2, the State of Israel shall, in accordance with its obligations under the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide in relation to the Palestinians in Gaza, take all measures within its power to prevent the commission of all acts within the scope of Article 2 of the Convention, in particular, A, killing members of the group, B, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, C, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, and D, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group.
On December 29, South Africa filed a lawsuit with the ICJ against Israel, claiming that its war in Gaza violates the Genocide Convention. South Africa called on the ICJ to grant 9 interim injunctions, which include Israel stop its military operations in Gaza and ensuring access to humanitarian assistance to Palestinians, among others. Ahead of the verdict, Tel Aviv said that it expects the ICJ to throw out such spurious and specious charges. Now the ICJ ruled in favor of South Africa's request to impose emergency measures against the Jewish state over its ongoing military operations in Gaza. A large majority of ICJ's 17-judge panel voted for urgent measures, which covered most of what South Africa put forward in the court. Although the UN top court has ordered to take such measures, it did not explicitly order a ceasefire. Meanwhile, South Africa hailed the verdict as a decisive victory for the international rule of law and hopes that Israel will not frustrate the application of the order. Israel's National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir responded to the ICJ ruling by tweeting Hag Shmag. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also reacted to the UN top court's ruling, saying that the ICJ's willingness to talk about genocide against Israel was a disgrace that will not be erased for generations. Despite the ruling, Netanyahu said, quote, "We will continue to defend ourselves and our citizens while adhering to international law." He also said that Israel is fighting a just war like no other, and reiterated that Israel continue the war until absolute victory, until all hostages are returned and Gaza is no longer a threat to Israel. Before the ICJ ruling, Netanyahu said that Israel cannot be stopped and called the Iran-aligned Axis of Resistance, a group consisting of Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen, as axis of evil. Since the start of the Israel-Hamas war, at least 25,000 Palestinians have been killed, with 85% of Gaza's population internally displaced amid inaccess to basic necessities. This has been Hans Marcial reporting, SMNL News.